James, obviously we've seen you beat City twice this season, but we've also seen you drop points unexpectedly. What reasons do you see behind the inconsistencies that you've produced so far this season?
I think if it was obviously one easy fix, you'd know, and you'd fix it. Obviously, to be a successful football team, there's so many little things that you need to do well, and at this moment in time, we're not doing enough of those consistently enough. I think that's the big word that you said. We've shown some very good performances this year, but we haven't had that consistency, and that's something that we need to improve.
So where is confidence at then, and what do you see now as the goals to still make a success of this season?
Yeah, I think obviously the next game's always the one that we focus on, and one way you can start a good run and get that consistency and confidence back. I think obviously the performances we have had, some very good performances this year as well. Like you say, that's what we know it's not too far off, but it's important that we keep delivering every 3 days. It's been an intense start to the season. It's been quite hard to get the rhythm, obviously, with a few players being out and not getting that settled lineup. But that's something that we have to deal with, and we have to deal with better. But the beauty of having so many games in such short space of time, it's a great chance for us to go out there and start putting it right.
And generally, results in the Champions League have gone well. So tomorrow, is it a case of going all out to win the group? Because obviously winning by 4 clear goals will give you that. Or is there the thought at the back of the mind as well, the Spurs to come at the weekend? That's a big game given how the Premier League season has gone so far.
No, all we can focus on is the next game. And obviously the biggest aim of the Champions League is to get out of the group first and foremost. We've managed to do that. Not the easiest group, but we've managed that, and I think it's a great opportunity to play a very good team who are in great form, and it's a great test for us to go up against them and hopefully try first and foremost and put in a good performance and win the game. That's the main thing.
Chris.
Hi James. Given your experience, how much does your role as a leader on and off the pitch take on extra importance right now?
Yeah, it does. I think I've seen pretty much and experienced most things in the game, and it's important that you look at some of the younger guys, and been very fortunate to be involved in a very successful time, and we've had disappointments before in a group, but that's probably been missing out on a league title by 1 point here and there and losing finals. So obviously this is a different sort of disappointment and something we haven't been through as a team too much, which is a positive, but it's important that nothing really changes. We have to keep working hard, we have to stick together, and we have to focus on the next game, and we have to try to keep the dressing room positive. And like we've said here, there's obviously been some very good performances this year as well, so it shows we're not far off, but it's about getting that consistency and trying to do that week in, week out.
And this group, it's earned the tag of mentality monsters over the last few years, hasn't it? And some fantastic achievements along the way for that. But is there a sense that the players have been affected mentally at all by conceding the first goal on so many occasions this season, the manner of conceding the first goal as well?
I don't think obviously that helps. Going behind, that it puts yourselves up against it. But I think it shows the character in the amount of games that we've come back and managed to turn around, and ones where we've fought to the end and things like that. So no, it's obviously not ideal, and that's something that we can try and improve. And that's obviously a big aim. But I think the attitude of the boys and the fight's always there.
Carl.
Hi James, you said you've seen and done most things in your career. I'm just wondering if there's any particular experience you can draw on for yourself and for the team at this point.
Football, it always comes back to the same thing. In times where things aren't going well, especially when at a massive club like Liverpool, there's going to be questions outside. There's going to be criticism, and deservedly so. The standards we've set for ourselves over the last few years. But it's so important that we stick together, and the opinions within the dressing room are the only one that counts. Can we help each other out? Can we work harder? Can we keep trying to fix the things, analyse the games that we're doing well, things we're not doing well, and try to put it right? That's the main thing. And like I said before, the beauty of having so many games in quick succession, it gives us another chance quickly to try put it right.
It's easy to shut out that outside noise. Have you made a more conscious effort to do it because things aren't going as well?
I can only answer that personally. I don't take too much notice, to be honest, whether things are good or bad, because that's football. Like we said, things change very quickly. You can't get too high when things are going well, and you can't get too low when things aren't. Football is full of that. The more you keep an even keel, and I think that's your job to get interest and have opinions, and everyone's entitled to their own opinions. But when things are going well, they're going to be blown out of proportion. You win the first 6 games of the season, you're going to go unbeaten, and if you have a bad run, you're going to get relegated. So that's the way of the world. But for us, that doesn't help us. We have to focus on that next game and try to perform as well as we can and try to get a result.
Dominic.
James, is there an anger or frustration in the dressing room that it's inconsistent and you're not showing the form that you should?
Yeah, obviously there's always frustration. Like I said, the expectations we have on ourselves, the expectations that that the fans have, and how we've performed over recent years and the success we've had. Obviously, when things don't go well, it's tough and you're frustrated and you're trying to put it right. I think, like I say, the performances are there in certain games, which obviously isn't ideal because it shows we're not a million miles off, but we're not performing to the level we should be consistently enough, and that's something we definitely have to work hard to put right.
Gentleman at the very back.
Hi James. The manager said after Saturday it's been a brutal season. I think 19 players have missed 1 game at least in terms of injuries. How much do you think that has an effect on the squad?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously when we're talking about consistency, that comes from having a settled lineup. It comes from rotation within those positions to give people a rest, keep them fresh. So I think that is obviously an impact. You have players maybe playing more games than they would like, or players coming back from injuries and being put back into the team straight away when really they could be eased back in. So it definitely doesn't help, but that's something that's part of football. That's something we've had in years gone by, and something that we've dealt with better at times. So that's something that we can step up and deal with again. But it is obviously a factor, but that's part of football. And the amount of games we've had, the amount of games we had last year, and the short rest, it's going to be a factor. It's obviously always a conversation of how many games teams play, how many matches play, and that's unfortunately part of football.
You have missed one. You're obviously 36 now, 37. Are there any plans at all for the end of the season yet, or is it too early?
Say that again, sorry.
Is it too early? Obviously 36 going on 37 out of contract in the summer. Have you held any discussions yet at all?
No, I think, like I say, at this moment in time, the most important thing is trying to get to a level that we want to be at consistently. I'm trying as best I can to help influence that, and whatever the manager asks me to do, whatever position that is or whatever role he wants me to take up, I'm ready to do that, and like I say, touch wood, hopefully I can stay fit.
Gentleman in the white shirt.
Buon pomeriggio, Milner, mano al guardasole calcio Napoli 24. Volevo chiederti di questa stagione, il centrocampo che hai affrontato all'andata, che sicuramente vi ha messo in difficoltà, Zielinski, Lobotka e Anguissà, è secondo te il migliore che hai incontrato, o dove lo posizioni? E poi volevo chiederti, Klopp ha detto è molto difficile fare 4-0 ed arrivare primi, ma voi calciatori ci credete un po' in più di Klopp?
I think Napoli are obviously a very good team. We've seen that, how well they've played, not just this season. Obviously, I think they're unbeaten at the top of the league, and how they've played in the Champions League. Obviously, they had a great finish to last season as well, so they're a team who are full of confidence. The midfield is one strong area of the team, but I think that's why they're doing so well, because they're strong all over the place, all over the field, that they know what they're doing, they're playing as a team, and they've got good individual players as well. For us, the most important thing first and foremost is to go out and put in a good performance. That's what we want to do. We want to try and win the game. It's a perfect game for us. Obviously, when things aren't going well, you're coming up against one of the best teams in Europe at this moment in time, and it's a great test for us to be able to go out there and hopefully, put in a performance that we can build on from there.